Hi, and welcome back to Ask ALG. Well, today we're going to get into something just a little bit different than what we usually talk about on our channel, which is estate planning and probate, one of our main areas of practice. We are going to talk a little bit about social media and influencer law. Now, there's not a lot of history, not a lot of guidance for lawyers on how to practice law in that area. Technically, we have to just use everyday contract law to assist our clients with that area. Now, just to kind of tell you a little bit about how I got involved in this practice, I was kind of thrown into it because I have four daughters, but three of them are social media influencers. And because I was very leery about social media and Instagram when I was first approached by my daughters in the 8th grade about getting an account, and them telling me, oh, it's just for fun. All of our friends have it. We want to get it. I was like, yeah, no, y'all too young. Y'all not gonna do, social media right now. Just focus on your grades, focus on your dance, and we'll see later. So they kept asking, every couple months, Mom, can we get a social media account? Can we get Instagram? And I'm still like, yeah, no, it's not anything that I want y'all to do. It's too much going on the internet. And so I am not comfortable with my children having an account. Well, some time went by that whole year. I have a 14-year-old daughter, and I have two twin 17-year-old daughters, and I have a 4-year-old. She's not there yet, but she's getting there. But the 17-year-olds who were at that time, they were 13, were the ones pressing me for this social media account. And I kept saying, girls, this is not for you. Don't worry about that. That is not anything that you need to be concerned about. So as I kept getting bothered day after day about them getting this account, I started to look into it. I said, okay, let me look into it a little bit more. I didn't know much about Instagram at that time, and I don't even think I had an Instagram account. I had a Facebook, but I didn't have an Instagram. And so I started looking into it more, just trying to kind of see what everyone's doing on there, what it really looks like, what it would look like for them as, 8th graders having their own account. Still wasn't convinced. And I said to them, no, we're not going to do that. My 14-year-old is 14 now. She wasn't interested in it. That wasn't her thing. So I didn't really have to deal with her issues. But my 17-year-olds, they will say, well, when can we get it? When can we get it? I said, well, maybe when you get in high school, I'll let you guys get a social media Instagram account. So lo and behold, high school rolled around, 9th grade next year, and I, kind of went back and forth on, am I going to let them do this or not? I didn't know very much about it, and that's why I was so skeptical about getting them an account. So I looked into it again, started seeing more people doing, different things. People were displaying their talents. I saw some craziness on there too, but I saw, a lot of people really just pushing their own brand. And I said, well, okay, look, the only way that you guys can get an Instagram account is if you are promoting your talents. And they are dancers, they're singers, they do gymnastics, so they did they had a lot of different talents. And my 14-year-old was a basketball player, musician. She played the drums, played the piano, she sang, so she wasn't concerned about it, so I wasn't really approaching her with it. But I did tell them, hey, if you get it, I will monitor the account, and you are going to do post videos and pictures and things that are representative of your talents. And so they said, okay. So since they're like, okay, Mom, we'll go ahead and do it. So they get on there, and of course I'm monitoring it like a hawk because I still wasn't convinced that social media was something for young girls or young kids. And so they start, posting their dances, posting, pictures of dance pictures and just different little things like that. And I was like, okay, this is nice. All right. And I'm looking at the comments, nothing big. They didn't have a lot of followers at the time. And so as time goes on, they continue to post more. And they were getting more and more followers. And I would assume it was because, they were pretty talented at what they did. So 10th grade rolls around, and they're continuing to post. Never even thought about this area of being of practice, or something that I had to represent my daughters on. Never even thought of it as a business. I thought it was something that, okay, you could just display your talents on there, be respectful of others, be respectful of yourself, and show the world what you have to offer. Never thinking about the business aspect. So 10th grade rolls around. I think it was around December of their 10th grade year, and they were on the dance team at their school, and they started doing these dances after school. They kept going outside after dance practices and choreographing dances with either just them two, the twins, or with one of their other dance mates. So I kept saying, oh, okay, that's cool. You guys are good at this. You're good at choreographing dances and putting them together. Y'all look really good. And so I would compliment them, still checking their account, seeing what people are saying when they're posting. That's still on top of that. But then one day they came home and they brought their friend, one of their dance friends, and they went outside and made some choreography up to one of the popular songs going on at that time. And they made that video, they posted it, and that was it. That was December of, I believe, 2019, and that video went viral. Now, I've always heard about videos going viral, and I didn't know what it really meant. And I'm just like, oh, okay, but their video actually went viral. And from there, their social media career just took off. They kept getting offers to dance to other artists' songs, and posting them on social media. And I was just like, oh, they're getting all these offers. At first I was like, who is this? Let me see, let me look at them, let me see, why are they contacting you? Why are they asking you to dance their song? Let me hear the lyrics. So I was very, very protective at that point because I still didn't understand. And then something just clicked, like maybe a couple months later. I'm like, wow, these girls are really good at what they do, because people continue to contact them and ask them to do dances to their songs, and they were making good money. I told them what prices, go ahead and set those, the prices that they should be charging, and I would be communicating with the artists on their Instagram or their email and negotiating those prices for them, and collecting the money and making sure they got paid before they did their work. And I mean, it was just working like a business, and something just clicked. I said, wait a minute, this is a business. I mean, these girls are working to display their talents, and they're getting paid for it. That is a business. So once I realized that social media influencer life was more like a business, I started to treat it like that, as their mother and as their attorney. So I would draft little contracts for them to do certain work for artists and brands who would hire them to do little things. And so I would have them sign it and make sure I kept it in a folder. Started being asked to work for different brands and either do like a one-time post or do a couple of posts. And so I would change the contract to match what it was that they were doing, and everybody would sign and they would do the work. And so as I realized, oh, hey, I'm actually representing them as if they're my clients. And I said, wow, I guess I am. I'm not just their mom. And from there, I started to treat them like they were actual clients. Still not forgetting that I am their mother. To make that was first and foremost. But I realized that, they worked hard at, what they were doing, and they basically have become professionals in the area of dance. They're very technically trained, and they use that to have a business and make money off of it. With that, a few months, rolled by. This is during the pandemic, of course, last year, and they had nothing but time to create content, just dance their little hearts away. And so my 14-year-old, she said, okay, I guess I'll go ahead and if I can get a social media account, I'll do that too. So I let her go ahead and get a social media account just a little earlier than I did with the twins, not to play favoritism, but because now I knew what it meant to have a social media account and what it could actually do for a person. And so I let her get one a little earlier. I'm still hearing about that today. Don't worry about that. But that's because she was, my 14-year-old is talented as well, and she could display her talents just as the twins were. So I let her get an account. She wasn't very excited about it. She was just wanting to have it because the twins had it. So I let her get her account. She posted a couple things. She wasn't big on it. She wasn't big on posting pictures. Very, very shy when it came to that at that time. And that was just last year. Well, fast forward to, and this is maybe in the spring of 2020. Fast forward um, to the summer in July 2020, and that's when everything changed for all three of them again. So they got noticed by this entertainment company that usually promotes kids, and they got signed to a contract to be what they call bad kids. I'm sure y'all know about that. And from there, it really took off. Their followers started to just increase like crazy. They started creating more and more content. We started doing YouTube. All three of them are doing that now, and they are just enjoying it and having fun. And while they're having fun, they are establishing a business. Now, getting to the business aspect of it, the legal business aspect of it, what I did once they started to gain followers and get more inquiries on, doing different things for pay, I set them up an LLC. And the LLC is a limited liability company. We're in Texas, so I registered the company name, come up with a name. I let them have input on what the name should be, and we registered with the state and started a business. You as the parent, and this is to my parents. You as the parent are responsible for everything that your minor children do. Your minor children are any children under the age of 18, and so if you are responsible for everything that they do, whether good or bad, right? If you're raising them, then you have to make the best decisions for them that will set them up for the future, because we want them to go out and be productive adults and productive citizens, and to have their own life and get out of our pockets at some point, right? So with that being said, the best thing that you can do for your kids is start them a business early. Teach them how to run the business that they're already doing, which is on the influencer side. They're running a business technically by working for pay. People hiring them, they're posting, they're chatting, they're going live, they're doing all this stuff, and people are noticing them, and that's a business. All that is a business. So if that's the case, set it up legally. And the best way to do that is to register your business with the state and operate as a business. Now, the best thing that you can do once you form that business is to hire your children as independent contractors or W-2 employees of that business. So all the income that they're making, anything that's being paid to them for the work that they are doing, is being paid to that company. And then you, as the manager / owner of that company, will pay your children. And that will help both with taxes. It will help with, definitely creating a more professional image for your children. And then it will provide some legal protection for them as well by being shielded by that company. One thing to think about when you're setting up that company is who are going to be the owners of the company. Minors cannot be owners of a business in Texas. Now, in other states, it may be different, so you may want to check your state. But in Texas, they cannot be an owner of an LLC or corporation or anything like that. Okay, so the parent would have to, or the parent or someone else would have to be the owner of the business and employ the children, which is why I said set it up that way. For IRS purposes, it's best to have a family-owned business and employ your family, employ your children, because you get tax breaks that way. So go ahead and talk to your local, CPA or an accountant or a tax attorney who can advise you on that, on the best way to set up your business with an LLC for your child who is an influencer. We put in a lot of work to manage their careers, whether it be buying clothes, buying makeup for video shoots, buying shoes, taking them to locations to shoot, having a place in your house for them to, make videos, flying different places to go to events where they can meet up with other influencers. I mean, any of that stuff, all of that is a job for the parent. So what you have to think about it is that you are managing your child's career, whether you think you are or not, whether you're just saying, oh, I'm just being the parent and I'm just, doing what I'm supposed to do because my child's a minor and I'm taking care of things and I'm buying this, I'm buying that. No, you're buying it for a specific purpose. which when you do that and you bind it for a specific purpose that brings in income, that is considered a business. You can get tax write-offs. Remember that if you are doing all those things for your children, then you also are a part of that company. You are an employee of that company. You're an independent contractor of that company. So not only do you own it, you also work for it. Make sure you determine in your business who has what job, whether mom has a certain job, dad has a certain job, and then we know the children have a certain job. Do you hire another manager? Do you hire an assistant? You got to ask yourself all those questions, and then you can structure your business the way that you feel is most beneficial to you and your child. Establish the roles in the business early so that there is no confusion, so that your children know what you are doing, and you know what your children are supposed to be doing. You know what others that you hire in the business are supposed to be doing to further the success of the company. Remember, you are using your time, and you're actually becoming an expert in what you're doing. And when you own a business, you have to set it up properly. And so a few things to take away from this video. Number one, come up with a name for your business, for your child's influencer business, something that represents them, represents what they do. Number two, establish your company and register your company with the Secretary of State of the state that you live in. Okay, and there's a filing fee associated with that you have to pay to the state, but what that does is that protects the name. No one else can take your name. Number three, set up your agreements. Set up the roles of everyone who's going to be making your child's influencer business flourish. And so whether that be a manager, an assistant manager, you have them as the contract employees, an accountant, you contract those out, attorneys, of course you need all of that. Set that all up in the beginning so that you know everyone's roles, you know what everyone is going to get paid, and also make sure before you start to make any payments through a company, talk with your CPA, talk with your accountant, talk to a tax attorney to make sure that you are doing things in the best possible way for your business. And then once you've done that, make sure you have an attorney that you can go to that can draw up your contracts, that can look at contracts that different brands may send, different artists or who your child is doing work for, and they present you with an agreement, present you with a contract. Make sure you have an attorney look over that, because there's certain things, if your child is building a brand and they're working hard to make a name for themselves in this industry, you want them to get paid for everything, every person, every company that makes money off of them, and that may be on a continuous basis or maybe a one-time basis. But make sure that if you get a contract, you make sure that you have someone look over it to ensure that your child is being protected. Also, if they don't give you a contract, you need to have contracts for your children. Anytime they're hired to do a job, they need to have a contract, whether it's a one-pager or it's a 2 or 3-pager, depending on the type of company. You have your contract in place, so it tells you how much your child is getting paid, what is expected of them, how long the business relationship between them and the brand will last. If you are just starting out, go ahead and set it up right. Don't wait till, like I did. I didn't realize this was a business. I was totally against social media, but now I love it for them, and I think it's a great opportunity. My other daughter has finally come around, and she's involved in social media, displaying her talent, so I'm really happy for that. We'll continue to update our videos as things change in the law, so you'll always be aware of things to be on the lookout for. So please, if you like this video, please like, comment, subscribe, and join us next time.